The screen is dark. A single number flashes, then another, rapidly. $700 billion, gone, just like that. No headlines screamed it. No one saw it coming, until they did. Financial crises don't explode overnight, but they feel like they do. And that's exactly the illusion you're meant to believe. Pause. Today, we're going to unpack why what seems sudden was already set in motion years, sometimes decades ago. Picture this. You're holding a balloon. Tiny pinpricks appear over months. You don't notice. One day, pop, chaos. That's a financial crisis. And you're standing under the debris, wondering how it all happened so fast. Right now, markets are calm. Economists are debating. Investors are nervously smiling. But underneath, invisible forces are ticking. Debt cycles, leverage, hidden derivatives. It's not drama, it's math, and it's relentless. Every crisis has a slow heartbeat. Take 2008, subprime mortgages, trillions in loans no one fully understood. Banks bundled them, sold them globally, and added layers of insurance nobody checked. The math looked fine. Tiny default percentages multiplied across the system. It built quietly, invisible. By 2007, the cracks were there but ignored. Like termites inside walls, you only notice when the ceiling collapses. And it's not just mortgages, corporate debt, leveraged loans, even government spending. These are ticking time bombs quietly reconfiguring risk in ways the public rarely sees. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Crises are engineered by structure, not surprise. Markets follow rules, legal, financial, accounting rules. They reward risk until it's unbearable. Like leverage, borrowing to invest, 10x, 20x, sometimes more. A tiny shift in asset value becomes catastrophic. Or derivatives, contracts tied to contracts. They amplify exposure across continents. One company fails here, hundreds are affected there. You think it's isolated, it isn't. And then there's liquidity. Suddenly everyone wants cash, but the system doesn't have enough to meet the demand. That's when the sudden panic happens. Ironically, the more complex the system, the faster it unravels when the trigger hits. Here's why crises feel instantaneous. Media, headlines, market speed, social psychology. The public only sees the last 24 hours. They see collapsing stock charts, banks failing, CEOs resigning. It looks abrupt. But behind the scenes, every move had a pattern. Years of debt growth, risk layering, financial engineering, like stacking cards until one wobbles. One nudge, everything topples. And here's the irony. Those inside the system, hedge funds, central banks, big investors, often saw it coming months before. They even position themselves to profit from what you call a surprise. Wall Street news loves drama. Crisis hits overnight. But reality, the market's invisible wiring was fraying slowly. This isn't panic, it's physics. Interest rate shifts, margin calls, contagion through financial instruments, all slow, steady, invisible. And yet, humans expect sudden events. They assign blame to one CEO, one country, one policy. It's comforting, like a villain in a story. But the system is the villain, impersonal, relentless. Understanding this changes everything. You don't just react, you watch the structural risk, the slow-motion cracks forming under the surface. If crises are slow-motion disasters, what does that mean for today? It means the headlines you ignore might be the cracks you can't see. It means leverage, derivatives, debt cycles, and hidden exposures are constantly building. And here's the kicker. The next crisis won't look like the last. It will feel sudden. It will be shocking. But in reality, it will be years, sometimes decades in the making. Governments, central banks, and markets are always patching, hedging, and recalculating, but they can't erase the underlying math. So, the next time the market falls overnight, ask yourself, was it sudden? Or did it quietly arrive years ago in ways most people will never notice? Because the truth about financial crises isn't in the headlines. It's in the slow, invisible gears turning beneath our feet. And the most important question, will you see them before the ceiling collapses, or only when the sound hits your ears?